Hey everyone, hope you guys are having a good day and welcome to my recap of FACS Spring 2024. If you guys don't know me, hi, my name is Shannon, I'm the creator behind SGI Creations and I'm trying to become a full-time artist. And one of the ways of doing that is doing conventions, especially if you really want to sell your art for what it's worth, to be fair. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about FACS Belgium Spring Edition. And some of the things that I'm going to be talking about are very simple. The big prep that we did beforehand, the setup of the full booth, the convention itself, and obviously some fun topics that I had with friends that we did at the convention, because a convention should not only be about selling your products. A convention should also be about having fun with friends, obviously, because there's more to a convention than just your stuff and just your table. Anyway, let's get started with the first on the list. The big preparations, obviously. So 1 or 2 weeks before FACS, I got sick, and when I was not fully ready to get back to work, I was capable of sitting behind a PC and relaxing and drawing, because that's my way of actually relaxing. And with the prep work for the convention, I really wanted to finish some of the Hazbin Hotel character casts. As you can see, this full case of buttons is almost fully filled up to the brim with Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss characters, with only the last maybe 2 to 3 rows being different fandoms. I pumped out almost the full case. It was absolutely insane. Not to mention that not only were these buttons that we actually created, but sticker sheets were also part of the product line. In the end, with all different kinds of things that we created, we ended up with a full stack of different sticker sheets, where I printed 25 of each, thinking that would be enough for the convention, slightly overestimating the convention. FACS might be one of the biggest conventions there is around in Belgium, but for some reason I can't compare it to one of the Dutch conventions that we have, like Dutch Comic Con or Made in Asia. Either way, you gotta be prepared, so maybe something goes really well at the convention and maybe something it does not. You have no idea how the convention will run, so in the end you still overpack a bit. And I overpacked by a landslide. I do gotta say that I'm lucky to own a car and a driver's license. Not many of the artists that I know actually have either a car or a driver's license, so they have to go by public transport or have to travel with other people. And I could never imagine that for myself with the amount of stuff and the steps that I'm taking. I am very lucky to have a driver's license and a car. Well, speaking of driving, let's talk about driving to the convention and setting up the booth. So, driving from my place to the convention, Vlaanderen Expo in Ghent, it takes me like 2.5 hours. In the meantime, I had to pick up my buddy from her place and then drive to the convention, so it was not too bad of a way around because she was actually on the road to the convention. If you're at the convention, you probably get stuck at the loop, because if you go to Vlaanderen Expo, it's in the middle of a full-on system that is called the loop. It's also next to an IKEA, but that is the best thing to do after the convention on most times. So after you escape the loop, and if you're like me and you have a place in the dealer hall, you have to drive through a couple of halls in order to go to the place where you actually stand. Not that it matters much, but I'm an artist in the dealer hall and I'm not in the creator section, meaning that we have 2 different halls where we can build up our own stuff. So I have to drive through a couple of halls in order to get to my place, while the artists actually drive in and place the car in the first hall that they can actually enter. And with me being an artist in the dealer hall, that means I also don't get a table included in my price. I either have to order them out or I have to bring them myself. So that's what I do. I brought my own tables. I have 3 of them, and I set them up in order to build up the full stand that we wanted to build. And this is where we ran into a couple of small problems, really. My friend, Cutie Squad, actually has some big plans up and running. So we had to divide the tables that we already had without them. Meaning that my table, for example, got a bit bigger. And I am very grateful for that. But at the same time, I noticed something from the very start. Having a table that is slightly bigger, 3.6, does not give me the comfy artist feeling anymore. With that being said, the setup was absolutely amazing. We had such a big, incredible table, but for me, it just not felt like it was good enough. It took us like twice as long also to set up, not because I was not experienced with the setup, but mainly because I did not know how to fill in the dead space that we had from the extra 60 centimeters that we had. In the end, I gotta say, we managed to make it work. It looked absolutely fantastic. Some of the places needed a bit more decoration, but we didn't have any more. But to be fair, everything looked exactly the way that I wanted. It looked absolutely incredible. We had to switch some things around at the convention itself, but by all means, I am proud of how much we could actually set up with the space that we had. To be fair, around 5 to 6 p.m. We got very tired and very hungry, so we actually wanted to eat at IKEA, but for obvious reasons, around the time it was so immensely busy, so we decided to go back to the Airbnb and order out some food. Have some time to relax, because usually I prep some more items before the convention, but since I'm not home, I couldn't, so we just vibed, relaxed, sat back, and had a nice cup of iced tea and just went to bed and waited around for the next day. I do want to say that Fax is a bit of a slow burner when it comes to, like, selling your items. Meaning that a lot of people just look around and later on buy stuff, or it could have been my fault with setting up bits of my booth, because the front of my booth was facing the opposite way of the entrance of the convention. Meaning that a lot of people didn't see my eye-catching stuff at first, meaning that a lot of people surpassed it and later on find the booth, basically. In the end, the convention itself was not too bad, to be fair. I just personally gotta thank Largo and his friends for delivering us food, because with all the preparations for everything, that's the one thing I forgot to buy, is a bunch of food for us to survive the rest of the weekend. I personally want to thank my friend Ali for helping out with the booth for the first time and doing such an incredible job too. She was such a sweetheart. She picked things up very easily, and eventually I just saw a little, I can say like a little rat hole with a bunch of the items that I had for sale. She basically opened up a tab and just started pressing buttons for themselves and grabbing some of the prints and putting them away to buy them later on, which was absolutely adorable to see in the end. With a big ass picture with a bunch of the items that were from my booth. Either way, Fax always has a lot of lovely people who are interactive with the stand, people who keep coming back. I gotta say, I love the furries that kept coming to the stand and wanting to get like doodle commissions and wanting to buy some more buttons and buy some more keychains. I love the fandom. I love everyone that just came by and had a nice chat. You guys always make this convention like so worth it. It's so much fun to see everyone again, and so much fun to like have a fun chat with everyone, you know? So that actually brings us to the moment where I sent out my buddies Scully and Largo on a quest. I wanted them to get my mascot drawn by many artists from the actual creators / Artist Alley and see in how many styles we could actually get them. But the most difficult thing from the quest itself was finding actual artists that did convention commissions. After searching around for a little bit, they finally managed to ask a couple of artists if they actually did some commissions, and some of them did, which was absolutely insane and fantastic, and I can't thank them enough. I asked and they delivered. Oh my god, with like 80 bucks that I gave them, they got me so many incredible commissions from human version from my mascot, which is so insane. All the commissions are looking absolutely astonishing. I love them. They're so cool and they're amazing, and I just want to thank all the artists that actually helped with the commissions. They are all tagged in my description. If I missed you, make sure to comment or just to DM me on any kind of platform. You guys deserve the credit. You guys deserve the love. With everything said, that was the recap for Facts Spring Edition 2024. I hope you guys liked this edition. I hope you guys liked the little video. If you guys want to see more, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you guys have some questions, make sure to ask them down below in the comments. And if you want to see more of me, make sure to join on Twitch, where I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Do some art, do some crazy stuff. Anything is possible on the SGI Creations channel. Stay up to date, join the Discord, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good day, have a good one, and enjoy yourself, guys. Bye.